An injury update this time on your assistant coach?
He's still home. Tough night,
Yeah.
but he's going to be all right.
Is he going to miss a few games?
I don't know a few, but tonight for sure.
Okay. How scary was that? I mean, it could happen to any of you, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't see it. All I saw is him on the ice and blood.
Yeah.
So he got hit by a puck right here off the crossbar. Yeah. And apparently came in pretty hot, and he blacked out. So he has a concussion, stitches, but there's no bone fracture, so that's a good sign.
You went through all those injuries last year. Does it feel like they're catching up to you again this year, player-wise as well?
No, it's part of the season. Last year was, I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
But this year, every teams will go through some injuries. I think we were early in the season in a good place, and we stayed basically healthy. Right now, it's part of the NHL schedule.
Yeah. What is Patty's mood? If you've talked to him, he's had a hard time with bad luck injuries here, and here's another one.
Yeah, he's. So I didn't see him. He comes in the morning, does his treatments. I didn't talk to him yet. Feeling bad for the man. It's just unfortunate, and he was playing really well the last game. So I'll make sure I catch up with him at some point.
When you talk to the officials after that play, did you get an explanation as to why maybe they didn't call slew foot? It kind of looked like it was a slew foot maneuver.
I asked, and I got to be careful there. I don't have $25,000 in my pockets. No, it was they didn't see it that way, basically.
Who's going to look after the defense today?
After what?
After the blue line and McCarthy's absence.
Oh yes, Mark Ricky is going to take over.
Learning experience the other night. What do you take forward from those learning experiences now, and do what you can do to make them not happen again?
Yeah, well, it's a process. Getting tired to talk about it, to be honest with you, as you are, I'm sure. But it's growing, and it's understanding why. It's always about why, and two things to me, what I'm seeing. Well, two things on the ice, and plus one thing that is a mental side of it. The on the ice factor is we need to be on the puck. We need to apply pressure. You give a little bit of time. Good teams like the Toronto Maple Leafs will take advantage of you, and they would do it against any other teams in the NHL. So that's number one, keeping that pressure on, but in a smart way. You want to limit time and space, and we just back up just a little bit because we want to be safe, but we have to be smart, but we still can apply pressure. The other thing is with the puck, keeping it simple, right? So we're trying to force plays in moments that we really don't. Simple plays, play the game fast. We don't have to take any risk in our game. We just got to play smart, bring the puck in the offensive zone, and kill the time that way. You don't have it, you're on the puck right away. But the mindset part of it is to me, that's the big thing. Growing as a team, learning from those experiences in a good way. I can tell you, nobody can see that, but we're behind the bench with the players. The bench was right. I've seen them, they got quiet. They were like, and you could feel the tension. Last game, it's still there, don't get me wrong, but it was better. They stayed alive. They stayed upbeat on the bench. The panic level, if I may say it that way, was not as high. So our team is growing. Now I don't want to say we fixed one part, but we got better at one part. And I think the key moment in that game, it's 5-2. We're doing a good job in the offensive zone. We're killing time, 7 minutes left. We got that penalty. It's an icing. no offside. But again, I understand the referees. Like, they make judgment calls on the fly. We have the ability to see the review. So, but that was a key moment. We killed that penalty. Corrali has a scoring chance in the offensive zone. We sustained some O-zone. The penalty is done. There's no face-off in our D-zone. And I think it's a complete, we're not even talking about this today. You're telling me that we've done a good job at keeping the league. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen, but the bench was right. The mindset was better than what I've seen, so we're moving forward.
And getting the result out of a game like that, that's got to help the confidence, knowing that no matter what the situation, you
Well,
can still pull a result out.
That's what I meant yesterday when I said we bent, but we didn't break. I understand we gave up 5 goals, but we still won the game, and we didn't break that part. But there's still so much growth to happen in order to be that kind of team. But you know what? Like, the last 13 games, we're 6-5-1, right? So we're going in the right direction.
No, excuse me, I know you talked a little bit about this before, but Kent gets off to kind of a tough start, goes down to the AHL. He's a young guy. You never know how they're going to handle that. But since he's come back, we see his game growing. He was just talking to me about how that was good for him. Just how gratifying is it for you to, A, see him playing well, and what do you see out of him right now, but also that he took it the right way and was
Well,
growing his game from there.
Yeah. So we're not trying to develop only good players. We're trying to develop champions and players that will be performing when it matters. And I've seen it, I don't know how many times in the past. Going to the American League helps your confidence. And that was just that part. For Kent, it was that, and getting on a program to get stronger physically, and he's going to get there. He's built different than Voronkov, obviously. So for him, it takes more time. And we're aware of that. And it's nothing against Kent or any of those kind of players that are built the same way. So it's going to take more time, but this compete level is right. His ability to make plays, we see it now, and that confidence that he gained in the American League. 2 things to that. The first one is he took it the right way. He was a man about it. He said, perfect, I'll go there. And he did it right in Cleveland, gained his confidence, and now he's got that mindset here. And because of that, he's making those plays. But he took it the right way. So the American League is it's an amazing league for players like this. Get your confidence, come back, and you're going to be a better player. So really happy with him. He was really good the last game.
And obviously he scores 3 points, and that's what people notice. But early in that game, he's making plays, intercepting passes, getting it on the forecheck. He talked about how he thinks his stick is a lot better this year than maybe last year. Obviously he's a talented guy, so he's going to score. But when you see those other things in his game coming along, is that what gets you excited?
Yeah. What gets me excited is we know he can do it, but we reinforce those little components all the time, and he's like a sponge. He executes them on the ice. Real smart young man. And for him to be able to hear it, to see it on the video, and to execute it on the ice, that's what we're looking for. That's hockey sense. And so he's done a lot of good things. And that game he produced, and that's what people see. I understand. We see it differently. The reason why he had those points and his defensive game was really good. And because of that, he was in a position to create offense. The goal Patrick Laine scored, we don't have the puck in the offensive zone. We're forechecking Toronto. He makes that read, and so that's a defensive play. Gets it back. Now you can see his skills. People will see the pass. I see before the pass what he's done, and because of that good read, defensive good read, he's able to showcase his offensive skills.
Wondering if you and Nicholas Backstrom and maybe the front office have done more thinking since the last time we talked about the 3 goalie situation, and whether you have more of a kind of a set plan going forward.
Yeah, we have a plan, but a plan in place is also a plan that you can adjust. As of today, we're going to deal it day by day with a longer vision, obviously. But a day like today, Elvis is not going to dress. It's a good day because of our schedule too. So we take the info and we understand what we've been through. The schedule has been quite heavy for us so far. So that means that we weren't able to practice as much. And just having 2 practices before the game in Toronto, we could see a difference, the first 2 periods anyway. And for Elvis, or a goalie like him, not having the ability to practice as much as we would like him in a normal NHL schedule, we're going to use that time. So this morning he had a good workout, a good practice, seeing some shots and working with Backstrom. So Spencer will back up tonight. It was a good work day for Elvis. So we're going to approach it like this, but again, adjusting. And Tarasov, he's back and ready to play. So we'll see what he has tonight.
As you mentioned, Recchi will handle the defenseman. Will you have another person on the bench in McCarthy's place tonight?
No.
Okay,
No.
you don't. Okay.
Any of those, why not change up? Olivier, I assume, goes in?
Olivier goes in, and that's it. Goody goes back in, yeah, obviously, goes back in. So Bean is out.
Thank you.
All right.